Shalom. Shalom. Salaki, it took me a little longer to get on here than I thought. I'm going to go ahead and get started. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, which the world ignorantly calls God, and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Through the Spirit, we get built up, get edified tonight. So this is part 2. Shalom says, this is part 2. So we getting straight into it. I'm going to just be showing more items that contains pork, things that we're using on a daily basis that we should be aware of, and be conscious of, the ingredients that's being added to these things, and making sure that we're proving everything that we're using before we use it. So let me get to my slides. So I left this little image on here purposely so everybody can get a good look at how they break down the pig and how they pretty much how they derive the pig and what they use it for, different foods, different products, that we use on a daily. So I'm gonna pull a slide and we're gonna get straight to it. So I found a couple of new items, food items that has pork. So what you want to do, you want to pay attention to your label that says glycerin on there. Glycerin and tallow. So those two ingredients are derived from a pig. So it says glycerin, also called glycerin in the British English and glycerin in American English. So it's different. Basically what they're saying is different terms that they use when they derive glycerin and they put it on the back of the label. So sometimes you'll see monodiglycerides or something like that, or you'll see glycerin, or you'll see something like that, but it'll have the word glycerin in it. Basically, they're just telling you that depending on how they translated it, it'll read a little bit different on the label based off how they got it. So it says it is a simple triol compound. It is a colorless, odorless, viscous liquid that is sweet tasting and non-toxic. So they say the glycerin backbone is found in lipids known as glycerides. It says glycerin is a common ingredient in pharmaceutical drugs, including heart medications, suppositories, cough remedies, and anesthetics. So be aware that they are literally using glycerin. So glycerin is literally, let me just keep reading. It say today, pork is used for its fat to obtain glycerin, which is used in many household products. So what they do when they break down the pig and they take the pork fat, they literally boil the pork, and the liquid that comes from the pig's fat is called glycerin. And they take that liquid and they put it in household cleaning products. They use it for medications. They use it for lotions. They use it for different body washes and stuff like that. So just be aware. So when you see this, shalom sisters, shalom to everybody tuning in. When you see this, you have to recognize this as pork. So it says glycerin, which is obtained or which is used in many household products. In the modern world, glycerin can come from various animals. They always love to throw that various animals in there when they know good and well. If you do the research and you look it up, the pig literally is broken down 100. They derive from a pig 180 different products. They're using pig in it. Right? So if you do the math on that, that means the majority of the things that we buy, the majority of things that we consume, it probably has 9 times out of 10, it's got pork in it, y'all. So I'm gonna keep reading. It say the most common sources being tallow. So that's another word you want to look for. Tallow literally is another term for pig fat. Lard, it's all the same thing. It just depends on which phrase they want to use on the label. So remember, another one was lard. Another one is monosodium glutamate. We know that's pork fat. Tallow, that's another term for pork fat. Okay, so glycerin, that's just the liquid that comes from the fat. So remember that. So it says it's a kind of, let me go back. Most common sources being tallow, which is a kind of beef or mutton fat. Pork is also used to make over 40 products, including toothpaste. So I don't know how many people is aware that, yeah, toothpaste contains pork. They literally put pork fat in toothpaste. Like you have to, if you have like a natural herb store near you, that's the best place to go get your toothpaste. You want to look for Tom's. Like Tom is a good brand. Tom Bees, they have like a little bumblebee on there. It's all natural ingredients. So when you go and buy these things, you have to be looking on the label to check to see if it's got hidden pork in it. But I just wanted to share that before I go to the next slide and start showing different images and stuff that has pork in it. Again, every image that I put up here, I did my due diligence. I searched these things out to prove that, you know, there is pork. There is pork in these products. So let me go to the next slide. All right. So this is just a couple of more food items that I found, plus a couple products that I found that's got pork in it. And as y'all can see, Subway, if anybody have not heard about the lawsuit that is against Subway right now, they are facing a lawsuit right now because the so-called tuna that they're selling that they claim is 100% tuna, when they tested it in the lab, they found no traces of tuna in it at all. And this lawsuit is still ongoing. It was opened up, I want to say, last year in June, when they proved that it was not only no tuna contained in the tuna salad, but it was pork and it was beef, and I believe it was chicken in there. And whatever else, whatever other traces that they found. So Subway, and I'm going to pull up a little quick video to show y'all the little lawsuit that's going on and how scientists tested it to prove that it's pork up in there. So, and again, if you think about when you go to Subway, like we have to be conscious, man. These people is nasty. They don't change their gloves. They don't wash their hands. You literally have the turkey right next to the pork, right next to the bacon, right next, and they literally is contaminating this meat. And like I got checked, I want to say about 1.5 to 2 years ago. My spirit got convicted when I went to Subway to get a sandwich because I'm sitting here and I'm looking and I'm just watching this woman make sandwich after sandwich after sandwich. And these people, some people order bacon sandwiches, some people order steak sandwiches, then they get bologna sandwiches, the cold cut, then they get turkey, and they do not change their gloves, y'all. So like, if you going in there to say you just getting turkey, okay, whatever. If you don't force them to change their gloves, they won't change it. And so I was starting to have that problem because I would tell them you need to change your gloves. And so they was having a problem with me where they didn't want to serve me. And I knew then, like, the spirit was telling me to stop eating from there. But yeah, I'm going to pull a video up about that. Ramen noodles. If people, look, family, if y'all did not know ramen noodles has pork in it, it's that monosodium glutamate. That's the pork fat. That's where they get the flavor. That's why it tastes so good. It's not salt, because we know what salt tastes like. We already went through that. So ramen noodles contains pork. So be aware of that. Mentos, we recently just found out that the Mentos has pork in it. We was in a car like a couple months ago eating them and looked at the label, and it'll literally say that, but they may have removed the name. It's got gelatin in there, so they may have removed it because Esau he trying to be real slick with his wickedness. So when the more we wake up, the more he'll start to try to change the name on the back of these labels to keep us in sin, y'all. So we have to keep proving this stuff. But Mentos has gelatin in it, so you got to be aware of these things that you buying and putting in your body. Ivory soap, that goes back to the tallow. Now, tallow, like I said, is pig fat. I'm going to show y'all a quick video, and they'll tell you and they'll show you literally how they break the pig down, separate the pork or to separate the fat from the pig, and then they'll distribute it to these companies they'll sell it to them, and they'll take this pig fat and they'll put it in soaps and lotions. They make leather with it, they make shoes with it, and then they'll sell it to you. And they won't tell you that this stuff literally was made from a pig. So dial soap is another one. I haven't confirmed that the liquid dial, but it's the bar soap, because you can't necessarily get the pork fat as a liquid. You'll be able to see that if they do it in the liquid. So they use the soap bars to sneak it in there. Jergen lotion is another one that has tallow in it, which is pork fat. So just hold on. I want to show y'all a quick video real quick. So like, yeah, let me share my screen. Let's see. All right. Okay, check this video out.
From the clothes we wear, to the cars we drive, from what we used to look good, to what we use to relax. A large product. Full of animals. Could know so many of our favourite items change the way we feel about them forever. Change the way we feel about them forever. Tonight, it's the pig.
Skill. Oh my god.
The pig and his skin have parted company. The pig and his skin have parted company. And the skin is ready to go off to the tanning factory. Luxurious leather.
Luxurious and for the rest of the pieces, we are getting the leather, and after that you can buy shoes, bags, fancy leathers, Here we have got a defatting machine. We have to take the fat out from the skin, and the fat coming out from the other side, so we can take a look.
There it is. So what do you do?
We are selling that fat, and after that, other companies producing the hand soap, eyeliner mascara, for a head soap, yes.
Cream, makeup. You know that lots of cosmetics contain animal fat.
Really disturbing. A surprising bit of niche, Charlene, Chris. Animal fats are still used in lots of products we use every day, from makeup to hand wash and even soap.
He's going to get the pig now and he's going to put it into this pig tank, which will remove the hair. The tank's set at a temperature of about 66 degrees, so it doesn't actually cook the pig, but what it does, it loosens the hair.
The hot water also cleans the pig's skin and removes contamination. Oh, look at that!
What a difference.
I'm going to follow the hair onto the next stage of its journey into a hairbrush, as hard as that is to imagine right now.
We can turn this wild boar bristle into a finished hairbrush. Something like that.
A poultry offering. Okay. This is rare breed boar bristle. But,
Not that much, is it?
No, not that much. It doesn't really, looking here, you've got an awful lot of bristles, haven't you?
I know.
Where are all these from?
All the bristles come from either China or India.
Yeah. It's been a fascinating journey. Cereal is one of the most common everyday products in the world, but how many people actually think about how it's made and what it's made of? Do you consider that every day you're running pig hair through your own hair?
Okay, that's that. You see, so these heathens, they'll tell you what they're doing. For the most part, they'll tell you. Now, if we're ignorant to the fact of what they're doing and how they're deceiving us, that's why we can't be ignorant of anything. So I'm gonna pull a precept real quick. I guess chapter 5 and verse 15. So it says, be not ignorant of anything, great matter or small. So at the end of the day, we're not allowed to be ignorant. As the children of Israel, we should not be ignorant to anything, to any of Esau's devices, to any of the folly and foolery and deception that he tried to pull on us. You know, I say this repeatedly. This is the generation of knowledge, man. Literally any and everything that you want to know, you can find it out. You just have to put, you got to put the time in, the footwork in to find these things out, to search these things out, because they're putting it there. But just because you don't understand what it means, that doesn't mean that, it's not sin. It doesn't mean that it's not an abomination to brush your hair. So wave brushes. Let me go back to the slide. Let me stop sharing this. Let me go back to the slide. So wave brushes, it should be on my next slide. Let me go there. Okay, as you can see it, the wave brushes, like they said, you never considered that when you use this brush, you literally running pig's hair through your hair. You see that? Like, these people are so wicked, man. They are so wicked. So everything that you literally see on here, it has pork in it. Well, let me go back. It has pork in it. So your one-a-days, the capsules, I think our people, for the most part, they know, like, capsules contain gelatin, like they use gelatin to make the capsules, right? So it's pork, unless you specifically buy a capsule that is vegan, meaning no animal products is in it. If you don't get that, then if you take a capsule, you are consuming pork. So the one-a-day, the Tylenol, the Crest has, not only does it have pork in it, but it also has fluoride in it. And fluoride literally is calcium deposits that's built up in our body. And it also calcium, it pretty much covers the pineal gland, which, if you do the research, that taps into our spirituality. So when you consume a lot of products that has these things in it, this is what you're doing to your body. Not knowingly, you're breaking your body down. And, a lot of our people, are still in darkness, and, and it's all of the Most High when we come into this, when he decides to wake us up to the knowledge of this truth. But we still have to understand and be conscious of what we're consuming and what we're putting in our bodies. So be aware of not just pork, but be aware of your consumption of fluoride. They're putting it in our waters. They're putting it in the toothpaste. They're putting it in pretty much a lot of things, y'all. And it's really bad for our bodies. Like, it literally is breaking our bodies down. So be aware of that. So you got your Flintstone vitamins, that contains pork. You got your Benadryl capsules, that contains pork. I can't even read that one. You got the Centrum. You got your Zyrtec, the Prilosec. All these, what they have in common is their capsules. And so that's literally how they're deceiving us, by giving us capsule medication, because the capsules, like I said, if it's not vegan, it's pork. Insulin. Anybody that's diabetic that has to take insulin, the glycerin that I described earlier is what they use to put in insulin. So it's got pork in it. But this is why it's important, that we take care of our bodies, man. This is why the Most High, he give us law, statutes, and commandments. This is why he tell us how to live, how we should eat, the things that we should do, that it might be good with us, So the Most High is not giving this to us for no reason. So I want to pull a couple of precepts real quick. Let's get Genesis 1 and 29. It's saying, Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in that which is fruitful of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for me. So we should be consuming, literally, we should revert back to, a green leafy diet, things that grow of the ground, man, and literally depart and come away from all these processed foods, because these processed foods, and we're gonna get to it, is straight poison, y'all. It's not even food. By the time they get done adding all this stuff, these different ingredients, adding all these preservatives and additives into our food is no longer food. You literally are ingesting poison into your body. And of course, it's going to break your body down. But let's keep going. So insulin has pork in it. I think I went over the dial. So we got the leather bag. So a lot of companies like to say, they use the beef leather. They use the beef skin for these leather bags, but that's not true, because if you look at the production of cows being produced and the revenue that is bringing in, and you compare it to the pig is winning by far. So that tells us that they're using pig in the majority of our products. They'll lie and say they're using beef, but it's not beef. Cigarettes, hopefully don't nobody smoke. And if you smoke, you got to remember that cigarettes has pork in it. They literally put pork and a whole bunch of other poisons in these products and in cigarettes to destroy you. Paintbrushes, so the part that has the pig in it will be the bristle, which they just showed you. They take the pig's hair, the hog's hair, or a boar's hair, and they make a paintbrush with it. It's pork. Crayons, they use the pig fat to break down the crayon. It has pork in it. It don't matter what kind of crayon you use, and it has pork in it. So all these things have pork, and I'm just only trying to help my people arise the awareness of what we're doing and the things that we're buying and consuming and what we're putting in our bodies. So we're gonna keep moving right along. Let's go to the next slide. So I want to get into the different food dyes, the food colorings, and what they're doing to our bodies. So like what I was just saying is literally the food colorings that we're consuming, everything that they're selling us, everything that we're buying is not its natural color. They are dyeing it to make it more appealing to the eyes, to get more sales. Everything is ran off of business in America. That's all they believe in, is making money off of it. So like even your pickles up there, specifically that brand, they use the dye yellow 6. Now I don't know if y'all can see that. It's kind of small. I don't know let me see if I can blow it up where you can read it. Okay, you can see it a lot better. So when it comes to them pickles, remember, they're using yellow 6, yellow green, and yellow 5. Now, every food dye that you see on here is carcinogenic. Carcinogenic literally just means it's cancerous. Meaning if you consume too much of this stuff, you're pretty much consuming cancer in your body, and it's just a matter of time before it become, active in your body, malignant, where it starts to spread through your body, but it's literally coming from the food. So I'm gonna go through each one of these food colorings, and I'll read what it's doing to the body, and then I'll show a couple of food products that they're putting it in. So obviously Jello, that's the red 40. You got your NyQuil, the orange and the red. You got the red 40. So if you think about the color scheme, when you get the mixing colors, you need to know if you put two colors together, what color that makes, to find out what food coloring is in your food. Also, along with reading the labels. So the Fruity Pebbles, that's got all of it. Think about all the different colors Fruity Pebbles has. It has every single color that's on here. So you're literally ingesting all these different chemicals in your body at once when you eat these cereals. You got your blue Gatorade, so they'll use the 2 blues down here. But I'm going to read it. So red 40, turn this down a little bit. Red 40, it said it is linked to hyperactivity, allergies, learning disorders. One of the most toxic link to cancer comes from coal tar. So coal tar, y'all, literally is petroleum. What we use petroleum for? We use it to gas up our cars to drive around. You know how sick these people is to take petroleum that you put in your car to drive around They're literally using this, putting it in these different food products, and we're consuming it. So you got to understand it's causing harm to the body. That's why we have to be wise with what we're consuming. So like you. So red 3 is linked to thyroid cancer. And I want to go back to red 40 because another thing I want to point out, you know, you get a lot of our younger kids that's being diagnosed with ADHD. It's literally, they did multiple studies how is directly linked to red 40. The foods that they're consuming is giving the kids ADHD, y'all, where they so hyper, they can't sit down, they can't focus. And so the doctor diagnosed them with ADHD, put them on all these medications so that they just sitting there like zombies when it's literally coming from the food. So just keep in mind what you're consuming and what you're putting in your body and what you're feeding your kids. So red 3 is linked to thyroid cancers and dysfunction. High doses can cause cancer in rats, but it's in humans too. Yellow 5 is linked to hyperactivity. It lowers sperm count and cancer. Like, they know what they're doing when they specifically taking these food colorings and using it. They know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly the effects that it's going to have on your body, how it's going to break it down. And guess what? They got you. They got all these medications to give you after you consume all these products to destroy your body. Then they want to give you these medications that still has pork in it that will further continue to break down your body. That's why we have to be wise with what we're doing. Let me grab a preset real quick. 1 Corinthians, I want to say 3:17. Let me grab it. It says, if any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy, for the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. So y'all, at the end of the day, like, our people is leading in diseases, heart disease, high blood pressures, diabetes, stroke. All these things is associated with the foods that we're eating. It is. And so we have to be wise with what we're putting in our body, because even though we may be ignorant and not realize that these things are in our foods, it's in there. Whether we don't know it or not, it still has effect and it's still harming our bodies. You see? So we'll end up being given over into the hands of the physicians because just through ignorance. We don't have to be ignorant anymore. So yellow, where'd I leave off at? Yellow 5. So yellow 6 is linked to causing hives, rashes, asthma, cancer, and they keep saying animals, but no, in human beings. Look at the cancer rate. We know the majority of cancer, the Edomites is leading in that, but a lot of our people are dying from cancer too. And it's literally coming from the foods. When you start to see these little lesions and stuff popping up on your body like that, those are signs, you know, that you have high doses of maybe white blood cells, which is an indication that something is going on there. And that's one of the signs of you might want to watch what you're eating because it could be potentially cancerous. So I keep saying verse, but green 3 is linked to irritation, digestive tract, tumors, and lab animals, bladder tumors. That's going on with a lot of our people. They try and tell us that your digestive tract comes from, you know, the foods that you consume, which is true. But they don't tell you it's from the poison that's in the food that you're consuming that's causing these problems, breaking your body down. Blue 1 is linked to hyperactivity. So we can literally go back up. And I think I literally read like 4 of these food dyes that's causing hyperactivity, y'all. That's just ADHD, y'all. Can't focus. Can't sit down. Attention span can't go past 5 minutes. You see? Even in adults, not just children, in adults too. This is not good. We're supposed to be able to focus. And then blue 2, it's the same. It's linked with hyperactivity, tumors, chromosome damage. You see, so like Esau know what he doing. He know exactly what he doing. Let me get out of here. He know exactly what he's doing. So we got to be aware We got to be aware and be not ignorant. Let me go to the next slide. Actually, I want to share something. I really want to share a video real quick just to show you how when we consume these food products that has this dye in it, what it's doing to your body. Watch this. Let's see. So lucky, that's not it. Let me go back. I want to show a video real quick. It doesn't look like it's on here. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I'll pull it up real fast. Check this out.
Did you know that it snows? My eyes become alive and the light that you shine can't be seen.
Let's stop that. You see that? You see that? So there's no way that this is not potentially harmful. There's no way this is not potentially that can cause death, that can cause kidney failure. If that dye literally after 8 hours started to change the color of that rose, you can only imagine what it is doing inside your body, what it's doing to your organs, what it's doing to you. It's killing you. It's poison. It's literally poison. Think of drinking gasoline. That's pretty much what you're drinking when you consume these products that has these different color dyes in it. This food dye. That's what you're consuming. So let's go to the next slide. I'm gonna show a couple of food items for the red 40 to avoid. You want to avoid this stuff. All right, red 40. Hopefully you can see it. Let me blow it up a little bit. You see this? So just think of the foods. When we talking about these food colorings, just think of the different foods with those colorings. So you can picture what stuff you're buying from the store and what dye that it has in it and what kind of harm is it going to bring on your body. So you got your hamburger helper, you got the classic Catalina dressing, you got your strawberry Hershey, your crushed pop, the Benadryl, Hawaiian punch Pop-Tarts, fruit roll-ups, strawberry. You see it's all red stuff though. You see that? And so on and so forth with each color, which with each food coloring, it's the same. So when you go to the blue, think about the foods that's blue. Your blueberries, those ain't real blueberries that be in waffles. You know, that's food coloring. Think about your blue soda pops. Think about the blue candies and stuff that you consume. These are all food colors, and they use these food colors big time in candy, y'all. Big time. So I'm gonna leave it up for a second so everybody can kind of see what foods to avoid. Now, are these foods abomination to you? For the most part, no, but it's poison. Why would you consume poison and you know it's poison? Would you sit there and drink a cup of gasoline? Because that's what you're doing. When you consume these products, that's what you're doing. And we know if we do that, it's going to cause damage to our bodies. I'm going to grab a preset real quick. Let's see. Let's get Iraq 30 and 25. Iraq 30, chapter 25. It say, a cheerful and a good heart will have care of his meats and his diet. So wisdom would teach us to be careful what we're consuming in our bodies. Once we find out these things is poisonous, these things is harmful to us, you know, if we are wise, we would depart from this stuff, because in the long run, it's only going to cause problems. It's only going to cause damage. It's only going to cause all these diseases that our people continually take the lead in year by year. So let's keep going. Okay, I don't want to quite get to that yet. Another thing before we go to that next slide is I wanted to share one more thing about the processing foods that we are unaware of. Let me share my screen. So like here. Okay. All right. So we're going to get out of this video and we're going to go to another one. I think if it'll load. Okay, so that's pork. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right, let's see. Here it is. Actually, that's not it. Hold on. Let me go back again. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm not seeing it on here, so let's get out of here and come back here. Salakia. Okay, here it is. Check this out.
The fact that they do not recognize it's a dead baby.
That's not the video, Salakia. Hold on. Okay, here it is.
Burgers can become delicious from a puddle of meat. Burgers are still one of the favorites of young children. Traditional hamburger stuffing is made by mixing pork, beef, and chicken scraps. Raw materials mainly come from the scraps produced when cutting steak and pork chops. First pour these detritus mixtures into a meat grinder.
I don't know if y'all caught that first part. I'm going to play it again. Listen to the first part, how hamburger meat is made. Because this is the thing. We go to the store and whenever you buy a hamburger, think about it. Whatever kind of hamburger you get, some people be like, I'm getting 100% beef, but it's not 100% beef. So if you want meat that's more lean with less fat, then you'll go and you'll seek out the hamburger that says 90-10 or 80-20 or 70-30 30. Whenever you got them two numbers there, you have to understand that you're not getting something that is 100%. Because if it's 100%, it will literally say ground beef 100%. And so when you look on a package, it's not going to say 90-10. It's not going to say 80-20. It's not going to say 70-30. When it says this, it's literally telling you that this product is mixed with something. So we have to prove what is it mixed with then. So I'm going to replay it. Listen to the beginning of this video, how they make it.
Processing process of the hamburger paste processing plant. It's the processing process of the hamburger stuffing you usually eat. Let's take a look at how hamburgers can become delicious from a puddle of meat. Burgers are still one of the favorites of young children. Traditional hamburger stuffing is made by mixing pork, beef, and chicken scraps.
Traditional hamburger is made by mixing, and you can read it, pork, beef, and chicken scrap, y'all. The hamburger is not hamburger at all. That's why they call it hamburger. You literally got pork inside your beef. You got two different meats that you're mixing. That's what it's telling you. That's why you see 80-20. That's why you see 70-30. That's why you see 90-10. They're telling you this meat is not 100% beef. It didn't come from 100% cow. It's mixed with other meats. I'm going to keep playing the video.
Scraps. Raw materials mainly come from the scraps produced when cutting steak and pork chops. First, pour these detritus mixtures into a meat grinder and grind them in order to make the meat pie delicious. The ratio of fat to lean is about 3:7. These minced meats are finely ground, will be pushed into the mold with screen holes. Under the action of pressure, the minced meat was squeezed into strips of meat paste. Another worker added a large amount of garlic to the mixture of spices to flavor. Another effect is to increase the antioxidant of meat filling. Extend its shelf life, then pour into this large mixer. The strips of meat puree are constantly added during the mixing process. Then start seasoning. Add flour, salt and onion in turn. Then add soy sauce for seasoning. Make the taste more delicious. Finally, pour in a load of bread crumbs. The machine will cover the lid for heating and stirring. Stir into this viscosity after. It can be poured out for the next process. The meat filling at this time carries a steaming temperature. It looks delicious. The workers then transfer the meat stuffing to the machine. The machine will press them into the shape of this meatloaf. Line up for the next stop. At the same time, they are covered with oil to prevent adhesion. Then the meat patty is sent to the steamer. The meat pie passing through here will be fully steamed, in order to fully stimulate the flavor of the meat pie. Steamed meat patties also need to be baked at a warm temperature. Pass by here. The flame bakes the meatloaf. Leave 4 tracks. The skin of the meat pie is crisp. It's tender and juicy inside. After baking the meat patties, the workers turn them over one by one. The meatloaf is sent to a liquid nitrogen machine for rapid freezing. The meat pie passing through here will cool down in an instant. Doing so not only increases the shelf life of the patty, at the same time, it can also lock in the nutrients in the meatloaf. Meat patty after processing. It can enter the assembly line for packaging. At this time, its shelf life can be up to 2 years. These frozen meat patties will be sent to the hamburger processing plant. The workers put the
I'm going to stop there. Do y'all see this? Y'all see the witchcraft in the food that they're serving us? Witchcraft. Explain to me how hamburger meat can be stored up for 2 years shelf life. So you can put this in the freezer for 2 years, take it out 2 years later. And y'all, this is not food. This is not food. Normal food modes. Normal food expires. Normal begins to rot. That's where we come from. That's the food that we used to eat. Real food. Not this GMO stuff. Not this processed stuff. Not this fake, these chemicals, these additives. What have we become accustomed to? And why are we falling asleep to this stuff? And you wonder why you're aching, why you're bloating, why you got a headache, why you don't feel good, why you got a fever, why you ain't got no energy, you feel lethargic, you got all these different diseases and stuff going on with you. It's the stuff that we're putting in our bodies, man. We have to be more conscious of what we're putting in our bodies. I want to pull a precept real quick in Ezekiel 4:13. Because we got a warning. Like the Most High told us, like where we go, the land where we go, they're gonna defile us with the food, man. They're gonna feed us defiled bread, and that's exactly what they're doing. Ezekiel 4:13. It says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So let's not be mistaken here. The foods we're consuming is defiled, y'all. Not only are they defiled, they are an abomination. Not only are they an abomination, they separate us from our God. We got to wake up and depart from this. What is wrong with just literally returning back to natural, real produce that's grown from the ground? Fruits, vegetables. Why do we have to run to the store and get all these processed, empty calorie, bad foods that does no good for our bodies, man? And then we feel like crap all day. You're on a sugar rush. You eating this stuff that's got all this sugar. That's what's giving you your energy. That's fake energy. You don't have no protein. You don't have no nutrients. You're not getting no minerals from anything that you're eating. You literally on a sugar rush. And then that sugar rush crash. By the end of the night, you feel like crap. And you wake up and you do it all over again. We got to break this cycle, man. And we can't continue to choose to be ignorant. That's now, in these days that we living in, these last days, that's a choice. If you're just ignorant to the common sense things now, everything is being brought to the surface. There's no reason to be ignorant to anything anymore. Search these things out. Care about your body enough. Because when you find out these things and you still continue to eat the same way and eat these same products that you know are killing you, hey, the Most High, he'll just give you over to the physician. And then guess what? Now you're going to them to seek health. When the Most High, he gave us health. He gave us perfect health. Actually, it's a gift from him. I want to pull that precept real quick in Sirach, I think 1:18. Let me grab it. It says, the fear of the Lord is the crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of Yahweh, and it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. So when we keep his law, statutes, and commandments, he give us that gift of perfect health. He give us that gift of peace, a sound mind, man, where we don't have to be sitting here with sickness and disease and struggling, even though we're in the land of our enemy. It was declared in Deuteronomy 28:1, if we keep his commandments, like all these blessings will come upon us. So why are we here in the land of our captivity? If we keep in commandments, why are we sick in our bodies? Why are we leading in sickness and disease? Come on now, we have to evaluate and examine our ways and repent and return back to the Levitical diet that the Most High, he gave to us. That's the only way we're going to prosper. That's the only way it's going to be well with us. It's no other way. And this next slide that we're going to get into is basically going into the bugs, because we always hear about the meats that we can eat that's clean and unclean. And then we also hear about, the fish of the ocean that we can eat that's clean and that's unclean. But we don't never really kind of get into the bugs that's clean and unclean. And so that's what this next slide is dealing with, because there's a bug that Esau has been using for a very long time, and it is defiling the children of Israel, because this bug is an abomination if we consume it. And guess what? Esau has decided to use this bug in a lot of products that he is selling to us every single day that's on the show. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to go to that precept in Leviticus. We're going to get the law on what bugs we can eat, and then I'll get to the slides. So let's go to Leviticus 11. I want to say verse 22. Let's see. We'll start at verse verse 20. Well, we'll start at verse 21. It say, yet these may you eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet to leap wither upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat: the locust after its kind, the bold locust after its kind, the beetle after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. So let's get into this abominable bug that we're eating. Let me get off this and go back to my slide. Okay, so that's the red 40. Let's go to slide number 6. I actually don't want that one. I want the very first one describing what we getting into. So it's called the Cochineal. Okay, obviously these are not in order. Let me go back. It's called the Cochineal bug. And I don't see it on here. So what I'll do, I'm gonna have to just read it off my phone because I'm not seeing it pop up on here. So it must didn't upload right. But I'll read it and then I'll show it to you. All right. So it's called the Cochineal. And another name for it is carmine. Matter of fact, let me pull up my screen. I don't know why this slide is not on here. I really wanted this slide to be on here for edification. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll just pull the bug up and then I'll read so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna share my screen. All right, let's see right here. Let's go to the Cochineal bug. All right. This is a really good view. This bug is pretty much a parasite. As you can see, it looks moldy. It looks really disgusting. But guess what? Most importantly, this bug does not fit in the Levitical diet that was given to us that we should be eating. So I'm going to read it. It says, cochineal insects are scales. Scale insects. That is, they are small plant-sucking bugs that are fairly close relative to aphids and secades. They are all homopetra and not at all related to beetles. Not at all related to beetles. So let's go back to the scriptures because it said, even these of them ye may eat: the locust after its kind, the bold locust after its kind, the beetle after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. So they're letting us know right here, this is not considered to be of a beetle family. It's of the family of scales. Scales, like lice. That's what family this comes from. So let's keep going. It says the term cochineal beetle is a complete misnomer. Misnomer. Let's pull up misnomer. Let's see what misnomer means. Because Esau think he's slick. All right, misnomer. Let's delete that. All right, misnomer. This is what it means: a wrong or inaccurate use of a name or term. You see that? So they are literally using this name is inappropriately used, but it's only being inappropriately used to deceive you into believing that this is a beetle. This is not a beetle, y'all. This is a parasite. This is a scale, and I'm gonna show you the family that it comes from real quick while I got my screen open. This is the family it comes from, okay? Look at this. Let me go back. And the whole reason I clicked on this because this is the bug right here, which is part of the Cochineal family. This is the bug that Esau liked to advertise on a package that he's using. But this is not the Cochineal bug. This is just of the family of scales. So when we go back, you see that he'll use this as the Cochineal bug. Now, what I just showed y'all, and this right here is two completely different bugs because he's a liar and he's a deceiver. Let's go back. This is the Cochineal. You see? Get it. Now, let's go back. Does that look like this? No, it doesn't because he's a liar. But let's keep going. It say there are over 20 families of scale insects containing nearly 8,000 species, and in the most of them, the female is a systole, renaming permanently attached in one place on its host plants for a whole of its life and covered by a protective waxy covering that it secretes. So I'm gonna go back to StreamYard real quick. I'm gonna stop my screen share. We're gonna get into some slides, okay? And then I have a video to show you where this bug originates from. Why Esau decides to use this bug is to defile the children of Israel, obviously, because it's an abomination. We're not supposed to be consuming this. It does not fit to the dietary law that was given to us of the bugs that we're supposed to be consuming in our body. We should be consuming in our body. So watch this. You see that? There go that bug again. I just showed y'all this was not the bug that he showed. This is a bug of its family. But needless to say, look at all the things that he's using this bug to make. So when you crush this bug in the inside, it literally secretes blood red liquid that comes from it. So I want to real quickly just show y'all. I want to show y'all a video real fast of how. Did I close it? I think I closed it. Okay, so let me just click back on there. Oh, where the bug come from. And then we're going to go over the foods that, we'll go over the foods that it's in. For our own knowledge, our own edification, so that we can avoid this stuff. All right, let's go to library. Okay, it's right here. Check this out. So, Lucky, I want to make sure I'm sharing my screen so y'all can see it. Can y'all share the? Can y'all see the screen that I'm sharing? Just drop a 1 if you can see it. Can y'all see it? I'm going to go back to the video and then y'all tell me. Drop a 1 in there if y'all can see the video.
So E-number colors aren't just cosmetic. They're a vital tool for food manufacturing.
So I'm going to pause it. And I'm going to go back. Can y'all see the video I was just playing? Just drop a 1 if you can see the video. Because I don't want to move forward if you can't see it. You need to see it for edification. Drop a 1 if y'all can see that video I was just playing. If not, let me try to share my screen again. Okay. Okay, y'all should be able to see it now.
Manufacturers So E-number colours aren't just cosmetic. They're a vital tool for food manufacturers because they affect not only the appearance, but the way that we taste their products. But what are the chemicals they're using to achieve these bright colours?
This is E120, Cochineal, and it's used in foods to give them a pink colour. It's in things like cakes, in yogurts, it's even in sausages. But the source of this E-number is really quite extraordinary. It's time to go on a little trip.
The source of cochineal can only be found in hot climates: Mexico, Chile, Peru, or, on my budget, Lanzarote. I've come to meet a woman who's promised to show me the source of E120.
When you find out where it's come from, you might actually feel a bit disgusted, but for me, I'm fascinated by it. Hola, Maria. Now, I hear that you are the cochineal expert of Lanzarote, the queen of cochineal, is that right?
Ah, sí, mucho.
Can you explain to me how cochineal is made?
Oh, sí, vamos, sígueme.
Gracias.
Chana Pereira takes me to see her cacti, but they don't look very pink to me.
So, what are these?
Bueno, esto es la tunera opuntia, que produce la cochinilla, que los agricultores la plantan. Si quieres te lo demuestro ahora.
These cacti are specifically for cochineal production?
Sí.
Yes.
It turns out it's not the plants that I'm meant to be looking at, it's the things living on them. Bugs.
Esto es la cochinilla hembra.
These are the female cochineal right here. So this mouldy old leaf is carrying a kind of a white fluff with some very sleepy bugs underneath it, and these bugs are the source of purple food colouring. Well, it looks extraordinary, doesn't it? It just looks like a mouldy leaf.
Cochineal bugs are tiny, just 5 millimeters long, but it's what's inside them that matters.
Como esta es la sangre de la cochinilla.
So it's the blood.
Cochineal bugs are one of the very few insects that produce red carminic acid in their bodies. It's there to stop other insects from eating them, but this acid is also the source of E120, as found in the pink icing of many a fairy cake. Chana wants to show me how to harvest the insects. Here, it's done the traditional way, complete with authentic Lanzarote sun hats.
For ladies. It's a bonnet, isn't it?
To get cochineal bugs onto the cactus, pregnant females are put into a sac, which is then placed onto the plants.
So basically, these bags are kind of cochineal maternity wards. They're full of pregnant female cochineal bugs. They lay their eggs, and what the babies crawl out and reinfect the cactus.
Sí, infecta todo el cactus, se adhieren al cactus y entonces ahí van creciendo durante 3 meses. Cuando ya están maduras, el agricultor las recoge.
So I'll stop the video right there. I'll drop a link of this video if you're more interested and you want to continue to watch that video. But did you hear them say, so y'all seen when they crushed the bug, it literally gave off a red dye color. So keep in mind, all your pinkish, reddish foods, aside from Red 40, they're using E120. So when you look on the label, when you're looking for this bug, cochineal bugs, it'll say E120, or it'll either say cochineal, or it'll either say carmine. They're all the same. They're one and the same. You just have to get familiar with what you're looking for. But did you hear them say it produces cochineal acid to keep other bugs from eating it? So this bug is potentially poisonous. Whenever it secretes a fluid to keep another animal from eating it, that means it's poisonous to that animal. So how much more is it poisonous to our bodies, right? And then it's an acid that this bug is producing. When we know, when we consume too much acid in the human body, it starts to break the body down. That's where the mucus comes from. When you get a buildup of mucus in your body, it's because your body is too acidic. Our bodies is naturally alkaline. So the way you get back alkaline and start to eliminate the acids that is building up in your body, you have to return back to a plant-based diet. That's the only way you get your body back alkaline, because we naturally was created, to live off the land, to live off herbs, to live off produce that literally grows from the ground. But that's not what we're living off of. We're living off processed foods. So it's building up all this acid in our body, and then we wonder where all the diseases is coming from. Well, this is where it's coming from. We just got to get knowledgeable about it. So I'm literally going to share some slides of foods that they are making with this bug. This bug is an abomination. We're not supposed to be eating it. So let me add my slide back in. So as you can see, you got your Oreos that's got the strawberry filling. Not the white ones, but the strawberry filling. You got ketchup here. So you see up here in the red corner, the little powder, that's literally the cochineal bug that's been crushed and grinded down and turned into a powder form. So that's what it looks like when it's ready to get added to these whatever food products they're going to add it to. Jello, you got your strawberry yogurt. I'm going to blow the screen up so I can read it and see what it says. Okay, it said, did you know one of the most widely, I'm going to turn my little music back on. It says one of the most widely used red food colorings is carmine. So like I said, that's one of the names, carmine, cochineal, carmine, or E120. They all the same. Is made from dried cochineal insects. I can't even read the bottom of that, y'all. It looked like it said the insects used to make carmine are called cochineal, and I can't read it. It's too blurry. But I'll post another slide so you can read it at a later time. But I'm going to just keep going through these slides so y'all can see the other food that it is in. Look at this. You nerds. Your grapefruit juice. That's not real grapefruit. It say 100% grapefruit. Check the label. Look on the back of the label. See what's in it. See if you find E120. See if you find carmine. See if you find cochineal. But if you was listening early on, it said they use this bug in cosmetics, makeup that you're putting on your face, lipstick that you're putting on your lips. They literally, the red colors, the red, the pinks, the purplish colors, because you can take two colors, blend them together and get another color. So you want to be aware of your color scheme. What colors can you put together to get this color? Remember that red is the color that comes from this bug. So then you got your yogos. It look like, what is that? Strawberry pears, it look like. What is that? I can't hardly see what that is. But you got your Yoplait yogurt. Yoplait yogurt. Anyways, we shouldn't be eating that anyways because the Yoplait got pork in it. I mean, aside from the red food coloring that it gives off, Yoplait has pork. So like that's a double abomination. It's got the bug, it's got the pork in it. We shouldn't be eating it. This is just a slide of what they want us to become. Look at all the madness that we are consuming, and look at this person. This is where they want us, literally. But take a look at the different foods in the back. You got your red Kool-Aid, you got your Jello, you got your Lifesavers, Coca-Cola. If you are a Coca-Cola drinker, the main ingredient in Coca-Cola pop is this cochineal bug. That's where they get their color from. Like, even though you be like, Coca-Cola black, it look black. I'm telling y'all, and I got a slide to prove it. They literally use the cochineal bug to make Coca-Cola. So let's keep going. Look at all that red. All that red. You got your Twizzlers. You got your red lollipops. You got your Dorito bites. What is that? Takis. Look like you got Takis, your Sour Patch, your fruit roll-ups, your red Trident gum, your Skittles. It's literally showing you they're putting it in everything. They're putting it in everything. If they don't get you with the pork, they say we're going to get you with this abominable bug. You see? So we have to be knowledgeable of these things. Let me go to the next slide. Airheads, nerds. Your Mentos, but remember we went over Mentos earlier. That's got gelatin in it. So now you got two things in this product that we're not supposed to be consuming as the children of Israel. The Carmichael, or not Carmichael, Salakia, the Cochineal bug, and you got the gelatin. You got your cherry, the mixed fruit. So the cherries that's inside of there, where does it get its color from? It's not a real cherry. If y'all think about when y'all eat these canned fruits, if you're still eating canned fruits, if you're eating it, think about when you're eating it. It doesn't taste anything like a cherry, man. It just like real sugary and just like it don't taste good. It's not real. There literally is nothing but chemicals, processed stuff, and abominable bugs that's up in your food. Then you got the good and plenty candies. It's in there. Your bubble fruit that look like some type of form of jello. It's in there. Let's keep going. Carmine. That's the remember that's the name. Look at your Starbucks. You got your Starbucks drinkers. Those that like them red and pinkish looking drinks, they are using this bug for the coloring. That's how they get this color. You got your Tropicana fruit juice, the red, the grapefruit looking juice. It's got this abominable bug in it. The red velvet cake, that red velvet cake, it get its color from the bug, from this abominable bug. Your yogurt, we already went over the yogurt, but it's just up there multiple times. Your little lollipops that's red come from the bug. So here we are again. You got your Tropicana. You see how I say orange, strawberry, banana. So you want to be aware of the drinks that says strawberry on it. Strawberry, cherry. You want to be aware of the foods that's pink, that's red. Keep in mind, but look on the labels as well. But keep in mind, it's either red 40, which is petroleum, which is gasoline, or it's either the cochineal bug, E120, which is an abomination. You shouldn't be consuming these things. But that bug right there, that's not the correct bug. And I already showed y'all what the bug looked like. But Esau, he tried to be so slick with his devices, his wickedness. This looked like a beetle, right? This literally looks like a beetle. Anybody looking at this, it looked like a beetle because he's trying to deceive us. But the Cochineal bug, it doesn't look anything like this. I told y'all it's a parasite. It's a scale. It's mold. So it doesn't look like that. That's only to like mentally help the person out that when they find out they're consuming bugs, this is what the bug look like. But it's not true. It's not true. Don't be deceived. So what can we eat? Because we skeletons by now, right? It ain't nothing we can eat no more in the stores. It's plenty we can eat, y'all. We got to return back from the natural green vegetables and fruits that grow from the ground, y'all. The herbs, the stuff that the Most High gave us that's meat for us, right? We got to return back to that stuff. Our people like flavor in their food. You can still get flavor in your food, man, from the herbs. Like, that's where you getting your flavor from. All we used to is this processed, highly salted, highly sugared foods that we're consuming every single day. And then if you're paying attention, next time you eat something, pay attention to how your body feel afterwards. See if you get a headache afterwards. See if you feel lethargic. See if you feel drained. You know, see if your attitude, you get a mood change or something. It's all got to do with these foods that we are eating, y'all. It's madness. This is pure wickedness what they're doing. But we have to be wiser and be wiser than a serpent and take good care of what we're putting in our bodies. What we're putting in our bodies. Okay, so that's just a little quick picture that I took of some of the stuff that I'll be buying that we eat. It's all natural stuff. You got your pistachios, 100% peanut butter. You got your oats, your walnuts, original tortilla chips, shredded wheats, your honey, nothing but fruits and vegetables. If you can see, you got your moringa, which I'll always be pushing this moringa because it's a super food. It's literally herbs grounded down. Really good for your body. Give you all your minerals, give you all your nutrients, give you all your vitamins that you need. This is what we have to go back to. This is what we have to go back to. So I'm going to grab a couple precepts. I'm going to go back to I'm gonna put the pig back up, and I'm gonna grab a couple precepts. Hopefully this was edifying and it's helping. And then you know what? What I want to do real quick, I want to pull up a couple of labels. It's just dropped on my spirit to pull up a couple of labels and see if we can identify some of these ingredients that's pork, that has E120 in it, that's just not good for us, that has these food colorings. So I'm gonna just pull up a couple bag of chips, maybe we can get some juices or something like that, and see if you can identify the stuff that we're eating. And then I want to move forward to the medications. How long have I been going? Okay. I want to move forward to the medications just to show y'all, you know, some of the meds that they're giving us. Salakia. I'll do the meds first, and then at the end we can pull up some labels real quick. So let's go. Let's pull up some medications, because this is where it's going to lead you. If you keep eating the way that you're eating, it's going to lead you right to the hospital, right to a doctor, right to a cardiologist, right to an endocrinologist, right to a dialysis doctor, right to a diabetic doctor. That's what these foods are doing. And that's what you're going to need. You're going to need medication. If you keep eating like this, this is what you're going to need. But you have to keep in mind, even the medications are defiled. Even the medications are defiled. So I want to pull up real quick. Let me see. Salakia. I got to find the I got to find the tab real quick. Bear with me. It's taking a little minute to load. All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick because I want to share something with you about these medications, because you know these doctors, they know. But again, if we ignorant and don't know, and we're just gonna follow the doctor's orders on what he's prescribing us, and we don't even ask questions like, look, according to, you know, who I am, my culture, where I come from, my background, is certain things that I can't put in my body. Like, and us as a people, we don't even consider these things. Like, the doctor prescribed this and we just take it. You don't even think about, okay, what was it made of? Did it come from? Does it have animal byproducts? Does it have this in it? Does it have that in it? But the U.S. will never put that out. Why? Because he know everything that he's giving us is defiled anyways. So I literally had to find something outside the U.S. to show you how they literally deal with their citizens, how they deal with their people. But check this out. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. Let's see. Medicine and pharmaceuticals of animal origin. Check this out. So I'm gonna just scroll down. This is in the UK. And this is something that they make public for their citizens. You're probably not going to find it here in the U.S. because they can care less. But check this out. Religious restrictions, right? They call it religious. Even though we know, being the children of Israel, being the Hebrew people, being the Jews that we are, this is not a religion. This is a custom. This is our lineage. This is who we are. But this is how they identify. This is how they identify. But check this out. So you got your Buddhism, and you literally got the stipulations that you can give these people, right? You got your Hinduism, what they can have. You got your Islam people and the medications that they can have. And if it's got any animal byproducts in there. But check this out. Let's keep going. So you got Islam. Matter of fact, let's read Islam. So this includes Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Egypt, Turkey, Iran, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Afghanistan, Sudan, Iraq, Malaysia, Tanzania, Somalia, Cote d'Ivoire, Congo, the Philippines, Syria, Leone, Thailand, Eritrea, and Lebanon. But check this out. Porcine products prohibited. All animal products not killed in the prescribed ritualist way, halal, prohibited. Products containing alcohol, prohibited. Please note, gelatin is contentious. You see that? You see that? Now let's keep going. Check this out. The Jehovah Witness. They even got the Jehovah Witness on here, y'all. So it's telling you primarily what area of people this would affect. Australia, USA, Mexico, Brazil, and many other countries. It says abstain from blood products, blood transfusions, right? Let's keep going. It says the use of fraction derived from primary components of blood is not absolutely prohibited. So you just have to keep reading. I don't really want to get too deep into it. Let's go on down and see what they got to say about the Jewish people, okay? Judaism, here we are. The USA, Israel, France, Canada, UK, Russia, Argentina, Ukraine, Brazil, South America, right? All porcine, and remember we said porcine, that's another name for enzymes. We learned that in the last one, enzymes. So it's saying all porcine and shellfish products prohibited. So like they saying, don't give these people this. This goes against their religion. Other rules about animal products that can be ingested. Land animals must be mammals, which chew the cud and have cloven hooves. Birds of prey are prohibited. Fish must have fins and scales. Non-fish seafood is prohibited. Shellfish, meat, milk, any dairy cannot be mixed. You see that? So these people, they are aware. They know. They know. They literally know what they're doing. You see that? They know exactly what they're doing. But us, we have to be proving this stuff. Don't just take a medication if you got high blood pressure, if you on cardiologist medication, if you got any type of cardiac pills that you have to take, if you taking any kind of any type of medication for diabetes, if you taking anything, ask that doctor, what was this made of? Is there any animal byproduct in what you're prescribing me? Because there's certain things that I can't consume. You see what I'm saying? But that's the catch to it. We shouldn't have to rely on our oppressors to tell us if there's something defiling in the medications we're taking. Because guess what? We the holy people. We the chosen people. We not supposed to be on these medications. You see? So let me grab a precept real quick. We're not supposed to be on these medications. Let's see. Let me find a precept real quick. That's why we have to put our trust in the Most High and not in man. We have to do that. It might be well with us where we don't have to rely on these wicked heathens to diagnose us to make us feel better in our body with these medications, right? So let me see. Let me find a precept real quick. Sirach. Let's see. Salakia. I gotta find the one I want. Let's get Sirach. I think 37 and 27. Let's see if that's the right one that I'm looking for. It says, my son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not thyself unto it. We got to be proving this stuff. We can't just be like, first of all, you don't want to be given in the hands of the physician anyways. You want to be given into the hands of the Most High. You want to abide in the secret place of the Most High. That's our refuge. That's our safety net. And so by the things that we do, while we're here in captivity, that it determines on how we're going to be. So if we continue to trust these foods and stuff that our oppressors is giving to us, ultimately in the long run, it's going to land us on a doctor's bed. But if we trust in the Most High and believe in His word and believe that what He has given us, which is the herbs of the ground, which is the Levitical diet that He's given us, which is the law, statutes, and commandments that we should be following, then all will be well with us, y'all. We won't have to depend on these doctors, but we have to check and examine what we're doing individually and improve it. Like, you see the things that's not good, you have to depart from those things. So I want to grab a couple precepts just on grace and mercy, man, because we need it. We need it. At the end of the day, we all gonna need it because we're literally consuming abominable things every single day. And that's even more of a reason why we have to remain humble. We got to be humble. We have to be humble. Don't get haughty. Don't think that you got this thing in the bag and you sitting here and you eating abominable foods. We eating abominable foods and not even knowing it. You see? So we have to pray for grace and mercy from the Most High, man. That like He just have it. We have it. We have it with Him. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9. It says, they that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him. Faithful in love. What's the love? The keeping of the commandments, man. We have to be faithful in keeping these commandments. Shall abide with Him. For grace and mercy is to His saints, and He that careth for His elect. You see, so the Most High, we have to pray for that grace and mercy. We have to pray because we ignorantly sinning every single day, man. So we got to be repenting, constantly praying, repenting, and praying for that grace and mercy from the Most High. Let's get Sirach 36 and 12. It says, O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. Right? We need that. We need that grace and mercy. And let's get First Thessalonians. Because with that grace and mercy, you know, we can't be haste with our mouth and be amiss in deed. We can't say, okay, I'm going to follow these law, statutes, and commandments. I'm going to do everything I can do. I'm going to make sure that I follow the Levitical diet. But then you find out something that you've been eating is not Levitical at all. It's actually sin. It's actually abomination. And then you're amiss with your deeds. You're slack with your deeds to change your ways, to change your eating habits. We can't be that way. So through that, we have to be proving everything. So let's get First Thessalonians 5 and 21. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. And it says, it says, prove all things and hold fast that which is good. So I showed a lot of different products tonight, and I brought the proof behind these products, how we should not be consuming these things because it's killing us and it's destroying our bodies. And not only that, a lot of these foods are an abomination, and a lot of these things we're consuming is causing a separation between us and our God. And so when we see these things and we identify these things to be unclean, then we have to put these different food products and things that we're using, we got to put it down and turn from it and repent and follow the Most High. That's what we have to do. We can't be like, look, it's impossible to keep all these commandments. No, it's not. Like, renew your mind. Ask the Most High. Above all things, pray to the Most High that He might direct thy path aright. Because it's possible, right? Faith without works is dead. You can believe all day long that I'm going to keep all these commandments, but until you get up and you put the work in and you actually start to do them, then you'll start to keep them. So faith without works is dead. You can believe all day, but until you get up and you change and you do something different, then you become effective. That's the only other way to go around it. But let's get Acts 17 and 30. Because a lot of these, we just didn't know. We just didn't know. Through ignorance, we just didn't know. But now that we know, we can repent and we can change from it. It says, in the times of our ignorance, Yahweh winked at, but now commanding all men everywhere to repent. So we have to examine ourselves, prove our own self, see what's evil for our souls, and give ourselves not unto it, and repent and change from it. And that's it. That's literally it. I want to get one last precept, Hosea 4 and 6, because, our people literally, we perish just from ignorance. We perish from ignorance, but ignorance is no longer an excuse. It's just not. It's just not. We're in a generation of knowledge right now. So let me grab Hosea 4 and 6. Salakia. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge is just not knowing. Now, when we become knowledgeable of things and we start to find things out, now we have knowledge on it. Now we know, we have understanding to depart from it, right? If we fear the Most High and we're doing something that is considered sin or transgression of the law, if we're doing something that's considered abominable, that causes us to separate ourselves from our God, which is Yahweh, then we have to understand and teaches us to depart from that. So it say, my people are destroyed from the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. That's all that I have. If y'all want me to pull up some labels just to, see if you can identify a couple of, different things that may have pork in it. Let's just pull up a couple bags of chips real quick and we're going to end it out. All right, let's see. Now, when it comes to your medications, it's a screen that I needed to open. It's not opening for me though. But mainly when it comes to your medications and things that you want to avoid, consider everything that comes in capsule form. 9 times out of 10, if that medication doesn't say vegan, it was made through gelatin. It's made from pork, and you want to avoid those things. So you'll have to figure out, if you're taking medications, you'll have to figure out what you can take. So let's just pull up, we'll pull up a couple bags of chips. Let's see. I like using Frito-Lay because, they wicked and they put all these abominable things in their chips and their food products that they serving us. So let's pull up, we'll pull up Flaming Hots again. Ingredient label. And then I want to pull these up simply because it's got a bunch of additives. Look at all these. It's got a bunch of additives and things that we are not supposed to have. Hold on. Salaki, did I share my screen? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let me go back. Let's click on this. Hopefully it blow up where you can see it. Okay, here's the label. I'm not even seeing the ingredients. Where's the ingredients at? Okay, here we go. All right, so let's see. Flaming Hot seasoning. So I don't think this is the regular Flaming Hot Cheetos. This is another Flaming Hot chip. But you got your monosodium glutamate here. Remember, that's pork fat. So that's one ingredient you can't have. Then you got, here's that red 40. Whenever you see that red 40, that's petroleum. Think about think about the gas you put in your car. That's what they make red 40 with. Then you got the yellow 6. Think about it's carcinogenic, meaning it gives you cancer if you consume this stuff too much. So you got the yellow 6, you got the yellow 5. It does the same thing, hyperactivity. Like mainly this is big with our children. Like, and you know, they stay eating these chips and stuff and they be hyper, real hyper. It's from the food dyes. Remember the cultures and the enzymes that come from the lining of the pig's stomach. We can't have these things. Let's see what else is in here. The disodium isonate, that's pork as well. So these is just examples. These are just examples of what you want to look for when you're reading your label. And then I'm going to pull one more thing. I'm going to try to pull up something that's got that E120, that cochineal bug in it. Let's see. E120 food labels. Let's see what pops up. See, there go that bug. We know Skittles got pork in it, but let's pull that up. Let's see what it say. Okay, it might not pull the label up. So I'll just type in Skittle ingredients. All right, let's see. Let's go down. Okay, here we are. Let's just blow it up. It's kind of blurry. Hopefully we can see it. That took us somewhere else. Let's see. See, this is not regular. Let me go back. Let me see if I can find a regular Skittles. Let's try this one. All right, let's see what it's got in there. Hydronoa. You got all your food colorings up in there. The red 40, the yellow, the blue. You got all that up in there. So I don't see it on this one. So you literally just have to you literally just got to take your time. I'm going to stop my screen share. You literally have to just take your time when you are in the store to read the labels. If you can't remember the names, write the names down. When you go to the store, check the labels, make sure it don't got them ingredients in it, and then you're good to go. But majority of that stuff has these ingredients in it because it's processed. These foods was created to kill us. So, you know, we just have to repent. Hopefully this was edifying. Hopefully this helped a lot of people with your diet, how to look for these different ingredients, these different preservatives, these food colorings. Cochineal, carmine, E120, that's the abominable bug. And then when you're looking at the pork fats, you want to look for the glycerol, which is in a lot of cleaning products. It's in a lot of your different medications, insulins, and stuff like that, the glycerin. And then you want to look for the tallow when it comes to soap. That's just pork fat. Remember the monosodium glutamate, that's the pork fat. Remember the enzymes that mainly is in cheese, Kraft cheese, macaroni and cheese, different type of cheeses. Those all come from the lining of the pig stomach. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it was edifying. I love you all, and until next time, shalom.